It's already around 10:15. So while waiting for more people to join, I think we can start now. So good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope everyone is okay. Welcome to the Research Forum Series. It is number 2, which is one, and as you know, maybe some of you already aware that the Research Forum Series is one of the routine activities of the Global Associations for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises and Sustainable Development Goals in developing countries. And this time hosted by the Center for Industry, Small, Medium Enterprise and Business Competition Studies, Universitas Trisakti in Indonesia. Today, the Research Forum Series 2 will be present Mr. Jites. Hopefully I pronounce the name right. He is a coming PhD. So he's still a PhD student, and he's going to present his dissertation or his research finding, and he is from Management Studies, Sri Chandra Sekarendra Saraswati Pisma Maha Vidyalaya, or CSVMV University in India. He is going to present his PhD research finding, as I said before, and the topic is service quality gap in Indian paint industry. It's very interesting, and determining and prioritizing critical factors, delivering quality services. So, ladies and gentlemen, not to waste our time, I invite Mr. Jites, just say maximum 45 minutes. In total, we have 2 hours, but less than that is much better, especially in this weekend. Okay, Mr. Jites, the floor is yours. You can.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome,
sir.
You can use the share screen.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Jitesh. I'm actually from the industry. I worked in Asian Paints, then Jotun, Narolac, etc. For the past industry, 20 years. I am from the industry, basically, not an academician, but there I have an.
So you are the practitioner.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So basically, I want to enter academia, yes, after this PhD. So always looking to these problems of industry. So basically, I have taken this paint industry itself, where I have worked for so long. So that's why there was a live topic there. So I took a topic which is very relevant in the industry point of view, actually. So from there, I took it off. So there was, from the industry to academia, that gap was there. That was filled up by my guide, then the colleagues and all. So it's more of industry oriented, actually, this particular topic, because it is very application oriented, and some of the major industries, like here in ICI, like Saxa Nobel also shared this one of, actually took one of these findings and tried to implement there for daily works, actually. So I'm just starting off. So just 1 minute, sir.
Okay. Take your time.
Some technical. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah.
So this is my topic actually. What is the service quality gap in the Indian paint industry, and determining and prioritizing the critical factors which are important in delivering quality services. So how this problem started, because after the liberalization which started in India, there was an arrival of lot of international players like this Jotun and Axo in India. But it was more before that, it was more of Indian local players which were there. So the multinational players always had their competitive advantage in the customer service. Actually, more customer orientation, customer delight, all these words, they more focus. So now the time was there to move for the Indian industry to catch up with them. Otherwise, always it was an Indian industry oriented, like Asian Paints and all. They were the market leader. They are basically Indian companies only. So there was a paradigm shift actually from just selling in some small shops, some paintings, to customer maybe colors, selling painted wall, then some other solutions like that. So it moved from there actually to more of customer orientation. It started from there after the coming of the international players actually. So there was a scope which identified, which were there, which the companies tried to do something like for customer satisfaction. Is that enough, or was there a gap, or was the customers looking for something else or something more? So from there, that scope was identified. Then this is the research gap, that the service provided by the companies, when there was a pilot study, the service provided by the companies to the retail stores and by which is perceived by the customer and for customer satisfaction and to loyalty, there was a big gap actually, which I felt. Then the retail counters, actually in India, if you say 70% of the sale is through retail counters, rather, and 30% is only through maybe like direct sale or bulk sale, you can say. It is technically in industry terms, it will call LUP sales, large user business. So it is 70% of the business is through retail counters. So the retail counters is very, very important for us to gain the market share. And paint, as say, it is a more of a, it's not a price oriented. So it is a brand oriented, very much brand oriented. Then customer perception, everything is very important. So to gain that, actually we have to move to retail counters, has to be strengthened, and something extra for the competitors to be offered by every company to catch the mind share. So from the significance of study, as I mentioned there, this is the largest segment in Indian paint industry, retail segment, and the service factor. From that's what I mentioned actually. It is a study will give more of customer preferences. What are the choices of that? Then naturally the companies can formulate the strategies accordingly. So apart from the companies, the retail dealer himself can formulate more of the strategy, and so that he can gain also more of that customers. So from there, actually this local service extraction, which I mentioned here, is mainly because, for example, India is a very large country with a different diaspora. For example, from south to north or east to west, actually the taste, color, taste of the each customer differs. Even localized preferences are also there. In case of products, in case of colors, in case of need. For example, in a place like where I come from, I am from Kerala, there is a lot of rain. So there is a need for a paint which can withstand rain. But if you go to the other end where there is no or scarce rain, this need is not there. So there is a need which is locally also, local oriented. So that also has to be captured in this study. So this is just the objectives. Actually, one is the normal what we do in any PhD, the personal backgrounds which I studied, then what is the preference of brand, then the market share reach and choice, then the customers. This is from there that customer point of view about this paint and its attributes. Then the service differentiation aspects, which is provided by each companies and which is how it is captured by the customers. And how this service differentiation is leading to, how much it is leading to customer satisfaction, then customer retention and customer loyalty as such. So I have made some of the hypotheses there. Actually, it is must be related to the questionnaire which is I have made. So some of this hypotheses are like what is the education type of business, then experience and what is the brand of buying, type of business, type of projects. Projects means actually there is a different segment like repainting, then like household, then like that. Actually, there are commercial buildings. So that is the type of projects actually. Then the place of buying. Actually, place of buying is like a retail store or maybe exclusive store like that. Then the type of customers going there. Then the various attributes of paint according to the customer age actually, because the painter or customer age from what I studied is from 20 to maybe 70 or so. It is there. Painters users are there actually. So again, like these are hypotheses which are based on type of business, then the experience of each customer, then the background of customer, that is gender difference, then the preference of buying, actually where it is like I mentioned earlier, like a exclusive store or maybe like a multi-store. Then the significance of retail brand image, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. See, again, these are the hypotheses. I'm not going much into that, but because of the findings, it is coming up. Then the scope of the study, it covers the naturally the personal, then the democratic dynamics of a retail customer, brand preference, preferred place of buying and mode of buying. Then what are the aspects they are looking for a paint purchase? Then the different service aspects and choice by any individual customer. Then in any counter, there will be sales personnel, naturally in any retail counter. So how much their knowledge about the paint or how much they convince that customer is very much important. So that is, then the loyalty, there's different aspect regarding the customer loyalty towards the store and choice of the store for purchase of paints. These are the literature review I carried out with almost I studied about 150 different actually the papers, and from there I formulated a concept model. This is the major part actually. This concept model is actually it is a combination of this is the combination of two major, which is major of the two already proposed models actually that I'm just coming later. So this is the model which I proposed and I was trying to prove. And from there, this study starts. Actually, the questionnaire or everything was based on this. And this is the methodology which I followed, because majorly I studied it, which is my area, because I'm from the industry. My restriction, I majorly studied in one state of India, which is called Kerala. So, and what is the customer covered was majorly builders, engineers, architects, and painters actually. So this period, everything is mentioned here. And the pilot study, which I mentioned earlier, it was regarding how to formulate the questionnaire. Then again, the literature review, everything was done so that a model questionnaire was prepared to administer to the customer. Majorly, which I mentioned here, the builders, engineers, architects, and painters actually, who are the major customers of paint. Then actually I was associated to many paint companies, so they provided mostly which are the data regarding the all Kerala data regarding this painters and the architects and engineers and all the. So from there I started that study. So already that database was there from there. So that's what I mentioned here. The database about the engineers in this particular region, that is geographic area. Then I got it from the Engineers Association, Architects Association and all. So already the data which was there, I could get the database for making my study. Then from that data, which already I have, so I made a judgment sampling plus convenience sampling, so that all the major who are able to answer or who able to give a good output for my study was done. Then as per the research, that methodology, that formulation, I made a sample size, which is actually the scientific method for formulating the study. So I had collected 496 samples, that is what. Then the primary data I collected through the personal interviews from standard questionnaire which was made. Then the secondary data from, so I mentioned any industry only, industry and published articles. Then the question was majorly probing questions based on personal profile, then the business profile, brand preference, like a place of buying, mode of buying, type of usages, the aspects of paints, maybe store interior preferences, personal selling, all the other factors which will help me in formulating that, getting the answers, and also which aid me in providing answer to my model, which I already proposed. So industry's experts also provided in developing the questionnaire. Then I used that methodology for content validity, construct validity, and criterion validity, which is the normal usage for use testing any questions. Then the research tools provided were by structured questionnaire, then descriptive all the analysis, descriptive analysis, percentage analysis, ANOVA, chi-square. Then for the model fit, I use the structural equation model, that is the SCM, which is the most software. So this is like what is the analysis I have done. The percentage analysis I did for the demographic background, like age, sex, education, total experience, type of business, geographic area, like that. Then the one-way ANOVA was used to test the what is the correlation between, what is the significant difference or correlation exists between a opinion of paint regarding paint with age, type of business, experience, like that. Chi-square also for any association between many of these factors, like education, type of business, experience and mode of buying, type of business and type of project, like place of buying and type of customer, like that. To study that. Then one sample case test was done for the normality of that distribution which is to be made. CFA was done. The relationship model, that whatever model I proposed, that was validated through the CFA. Then one-way ANOVA was again provided for that. There was that factors which are mentioned in that model, which was tangibility, assurance, reliability, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. It was tested against the retail image and also the type of business. Then the ranking, that is what is the preference of ranking with a brand ranking through the Matt Whitney's test, actually. The proposed model, how I came to the proposed model, that's why it is a combination of the two major models, which is the cervical model to measure customer satisfaction, it is already established model which by Parshram. And the next part was the brand image, customer satisfaction, brand loyalty model, that is NA and Osakawa model. So both the models were combined by me to give the proposed model. Actually, this is, I'll go to the model again. This is the model, the I would say the left part. It is the actually the Parashuram model, which is the Parashuram's model, which is leading to the customer satisfaction level, and the left side actually, sorry, the right side is the Osaka model. So it is a combination of both the models I have made, which is also already, because it is a tested and proven model. So the both models were combined together in this particular case and tested for its validity actually. So the model fit was done through CFA. Then the AMOS, this software AMOS 20 was by IBM, was used for confirmation of my model. Then each factor was measured by minimum 3 to maximum 15 observed variables, which is the standard norm to be formed. So this is the model fit actually of all the factors, which was without modification. So there was some error which has happened. So the when we check actually the chi-square degree to freedom, chi-square degree to freedom, root mean square, all the RMSEA and RMR was within the desired limit, but the GFI, GFI, NFI, RFI, etc. was not within the limit. So we have to I have to make some modification for the model. So that this is the modification model with all the fit happened. So the model was certified fit actually. So in this, all the factors like this GFI, AGFI, NFI, RFI, then CFI, TFI, RMSEA, RMR, everything was within the desired limit, and so we could I could conclude that the model is a fit model actually in this context. Then the SCM, I went for the SCM model, which is the structural equation model. Here also that all the factors that fit factors like which I mentioned, that GFI, AGFI, everything was within the limit. So when the SCM was proved to be right and proven for a fit model. This is the path goal model which I tested. The path goal model, what is the major effect was that there are a direct effect which proved that customer loyalty, customer satisfaction are directly related to the cervical factors, the Parshuram cervical factors of tangibility, assurance, reliability, empathy, and responsiveness. And the model factor of retail image is directly related to customer loyalty, customer satisfaction, and retail image actually. And the indirect effects, when I tested, it was proved that all these factors are indirectly related also. That customer loyalty and customer satisfaction, these two factors only are related to the cervical factors of tangibility, assurance, reliability, empathy, and responsiveness. And customer loyalty is indirectly related to retail image actually. So this was the validity test which I have done. So which was proven, and there was no validity concern. So the path goal model was also proved actually. So it was tested for the CR reliability, CV, discriminant validity. So all this was within the limit whereby you can prove that the path goal model is also valid actually. So when we conclude that actually, I have mentioned here each of the factors, but in a nutshell, if I say that assurance in that factor, assurance is the majorly coming because in the path goal model, it is having the highest weightage. So the assurance factor is the more important for that customer or any buyer regarding any paint buying and usage. So the assurance is very much linked to factor when in the path model, it is already mentioned, it is directly also linked to that customer image, sorry, retail image, customer satisfaction, and that customer retention. So it is very much, it is the reliability factor which is having the most the assurance factor which is having the having the highest weightage towards retail image, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. So whatever findings it is there, I have just mentioned actually regarding the outputs. It is major age group is from 30 to 50. Then majorly regarding the influencers, actually it is the majorly it is male only. Only in the architect segment the females comes itself. Then the PDC and graduates are the more here. Then the most of the customers are between 5 to 15 years experience. Then this is the type of custom brand store actually, the sole proprietor or partnership which is mentioned here. Then this is one of the third factor which is the most important actually, which is whatever is the communication plan and service strategy, there has to be decided have to be in the local flavor. So that is the major one of the other major finding actually. So the local flavor is very, very much important. So each customer actually they want it in the local flavor and not in a generalized flavor. That is one of the other major finding actually. Then these are the output which I got from the chi-square test actually. So there is choice of paint experience related, then choice of paints, type of business is proprietor like that actually, that is related. Then place of buying and the type of customer, that is very much related. Then all the factors which I mentioned there, it is contributing to that is why one way ANOVA, which I proved that tangibility, assurance, reliability, empathy, responsiveness, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, and retail image is very much contributing to the service differentiation factors actually. And according to the ranking, Asian Paints is the most preferred, then followed by Berger, then other brands. So naturally the market leader also is here is Asian Paints followed by Berger. Then actually we save the future research. Actually it is, I covered majorly as I told one state of Kerala which I belong to. So it has a tremendous scope if we cover other areas also actually, that is the scope for. Then as I mentioned here, the brand preference, product choice, shade preference, etc. differ from market to market actually. So whatever the same questionnaire if you used in other areas actually, yes, you can have a different results. Then the judgmental, as I am having the data for regarding all the customers, I followed this judgmental or convenient sampling method. But the quota sampling on probability sampling can also be mentioned, followed actually. The test model, yes, once in other state or other area, we can test the same model again for validity. Sample size I made of 496 actually. Further, yes, a bigger sample because it's, Kerala is a not small state actually. You can make a bigger sample also. We can do it. So in different geography also, if we go, that will be more, as I mentioned again actually, it will have more confirmation towards this model and also the impacts of this model. Then the comparative, the same study can be done through the comparative analysis. For example, Kerala, I have got one result. Actually, the same can be done with maybe the Tamil Nadu or something like that. Then we can have a comparative study also, whether the customer choice is here is different or it is same or different in what are factors which is different. And the same model can be used for different products also. Actually, paint almost consists of almost 100 products. More than 100 products it is there actually in paint industry, in a retail segment only. So for each product itself, we can also do for this segment. this I have already mentioned actually. Some of the industry, for example, technology always has a play in this paint industry. Actually, there are always new products which are coming, new segments. Likewise, it is, for example, in wood finish, there are other segments like wood finish, this decorative projects. So new products also comes into play here in from time to time. So that is my study actually, basic I have done.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jites. It was interesting presentation, and the topic itself is very interesting, the paint industry. Before I give floor to the audience for some questions or maybe inputs, let me ask you, can you tell me a little bit about the industry itself? Does it well develop currently?
Yeah, actually, for example, that industry worldwide, that industry is dominated by, I'll say it's dominated by international players. Like major number one players is AkzoNobel actually. AkzoNobel from Italy. They are the number one actually. They operate in a same other names. For example, I think in Indonesia they operate in.
Oh, they have also in Indonesia.
Indonesia, I think they operate in other name. Some other name. Because they take over many companies. They operate in different companies in different names. And AkzoNobel is a parent. AkzoNobel is the parent company actually.
But still paint, yeah, for paint product.
Yeah, paint and paint products actually. Yeah. So in paint industry as such, if we say there are major segments is like as I mentioned here, there are this decorative and the industrial. Industrial means actually any industrial use, but if you any developed economy, like if you say go to US and all, US, actually it is the industrial segment which is the major segment.
And do you also export?
Yeah, here export is also there. For example, in India, we export to neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, then Bhutan, then the Middle East.
And with respect to size or scale, are they mostly large companies, or do you have also small and medium?
Yeah, yes, actually there are two segments here actually, which is very organized segment. In India, if you say organized segment comes under major brands. Actually, it is the Asian Paints, it is Belcher, or this AkzoNobel is there. Then Nippon is there. I think Nippon is one of the major player in Indonesia.
Oh yeah, yeah. And also I can imagine that for this kind of product, the industry must have links with many other industries as vendors, yeah?
Yes, sure. And also there is one is called unorganized segment. Unorganized segment is where so you asked about the small players actually. Yes, paint is manufactured, even can be manufactured, for example, like primers, then some of the small type emulsion can be manufactured in a shed also, in a small shop, small industrial area. That also is there actually, but they are operating maybe in a small geographic area nearby them and all. But the unorganized segment is also is a very big in any country actually. For example, not in developed nations. I am saying, for example, if you take in India, Indonesia, or our Southeast Asia, there is a unorganized sector, and this, as you asked, said, this unorganized sector even serves for the organized sector in terms of branding only. For example, they supply their paint, manufacture their paint to the bigger, and they brand it and like a contract manufacturing.
Yeah, so
that also is there. Yes, that is also a big segment. For example, in India also, there is a big there are many players who supplies for Asian Paints, but just manufacture and give. Okay. So like that, I think in Indonesia for Nippon also, they have manufacture for in marine paints. They have some manufacturers who are third-party manufacturers for. So it is a very, for example, in India, if you
Yeah, hello, or maybe connection problem. I think